Sri Kumar Garu, MVGK Kumar Garu, President of the AP Tax Bar Association, Secretary AP Tax Practitioners and Consultants Association, Sri Srinivas Garu, Secretary AP Tax Bar Association, Sri Kota Sunil Kumar Garu, the legends of the department. So he is the legend of the department, Subbarao Garu, and also similarly another legend, both of the conferences. I'm sure the audience here are very fortunate to have the presence of both Sri Murthy Garu and Subbarao Garu today. Murthy Garu being a practitioner, tax practitioner at the tax practitioners and the members of the Tax Bar Association. So good morning everybody, and then it is. I'm first when Sri Kumar Garu he met me, I was a little hesitant. So I thought, so the number may not be like, I don't know how many would be attending or like how many would be really interested these days, because every professional, as Murthy Garu mentioned, every professional naturally feels like every officer. We all feel that we know everything. So when a seminar with a good intent, in the right earnest, even if we propose to conduct, the Sunday nobody feels like working, and then everybody, they may promise to attend but they may not. So but it proved to be wrong, and my whatever feelings are proved to be wrong, and then I'm happy that there is keen interest from all the members of the fraternity, the tax practitioners fraternity. So not only from Vijayawada, from the neighboring districts also have come, and I believe entire state fraternity is here. So I'm very happy to be part of this. So regarding GST, and then I'm just 2.5 months old only in the department, but still with whatever limited exposure that I have to the Act and also the procedures that are being followed. So let me share a few thoughts with you on that. So when in 2017 when this was introduced, so we all, in fact I'm very happy that so this multiple kinds of taxation and then different kinds of taxation systems across the country, and all are unified, and then there is one system. So it is very easy to get investment from abroad and all that. It's definitely, it has proved to be good, and then I don't have any kind of confusion about it. So this one nation, one tax, one market, it is slowly evolving. So it's only like, as one of the speakers mentioned, about 60 months baby or 5-year-old baby, and then it is evolving over a time. So we should give some time, and then we should understand. And if it is complex, then we have to make our best efforts to simplify that, and then there are opportunities for that. Then it is, so when the GST was introduced, the objective was not only to have a reforms in the taxation. It is totally transformed the taxation system in India, but it is not only the change in the taxation law, it is also, it impacted the very business process. So it impacted on the way, across the country, how the markets started behaving, and also the process, the very business process within an entity, like a manufacturing entity or a multi-state trading entity and all. There has been a change. It has impacted the pricing. It has impacted the way the input tax credit has been avoided. So the way the procurement processes are being adopted. So there has been a lot of change, and this change is good. Like, so now people are able to get whatever they want from anywhere, any corner of the country. So that is, in a way, it helped. Then one of the points, like, see, there are two kinds. It's a dual tax kind, like dual tax administration. Both the center tax collector is there is a state level tax collector. So the units are divided between the both, and then so each one, there is a cross empowerment provision is available. Then because, so one is active, one is not so active, or one is more intensified enforcement activity, other is not so much. So this kind of differential treatment or a differential kind of a enforcement may be there. So that is all temporary. It will smoothen out over a time. But one advantage the tax administration at the state level is that the number of personnel available at the cutting edge level is high. Many officers are available there because over a time the commercial taxes department, because of the whatever revenue availability or the revenue collection potential and other factors. So there are number of officers are working at cutting edge level. Whereas the CBIC you don't find so many. So that kind of a difference is there, but doesn't mean that CBIC is it is smooth or slow or not effective kind, or AB the tax administration at the state level is of of any vindictive kind, or there is no such kind of thing. It is absolutely everybody, be it the CBIC or be it the state GST or the state tax administration, everybody is divided by one principle, one rule, one law, that is the GST Act. So nobody can cross the boundaries of the whatever the law prescribes. So on that count, so there has been a lot of thought has gone into before taking a decision that some units should be looked after by rather the tax is collected by the CBIC and some by the state. It's a conscious decision at the national level, so we have to go by that. So main issue is so there is the tax is very complex and so many pages and all. That is understandable because when the provisions of the various sales tax systems that are available in the country and also the service tax regime that has been implemented by the CBIC, well, both had to be combined and a new system is brought out. So obviously it may look to be complex, but definitely through the number of amendments that are being brought by GST Council and also so that simplification is now ongoing. So one of the approaches that AP state is following is through a conscious consultative approach. We would like to hear from the tax practitioners, the advocates in the tax bar association, and also the dealers and the sectoral specialists and all those. So for that we started this trade advisory committee, and so through this consultative approach, whatever kind of the impediments, anomalies, or any kind of pain points, all these are taken into consideration, and then so we are making best effort to escalate these at the council level. Thanks to Honorable Finance Minister Sri Buggan Rajendran Garu, he is very proactive in this, and then he is every small element, even a small element also. He makes note of it. He takes a comprehensive view on that, collects all the literature, and then consults the experts in this. Experts doesn't mean the government officials alone. Experts from the tax bar and also from the practitioners and from the industry, from the dealers, and so with that a comprehensive view is taken and presented before the council. So with that, I'm sure definitely we can make our best effort to refine the system. Then, so this kind of trainings, when the audits and inspections is taken on the e-way bill, the three critical items are taken into consideration for conducting the seminar. So it is highly required. So one reason being, so we have recently intensified some of our enforcement activity. It is not for any specific reason. It is obviously the system demands it. Reason being, 2017 to 2022, there was compensation. Because of compensation, there is some kind of inertia in that collection system. The inertia is anyway compensation we are getting. The effort is perhaps not to the fullest. That's what I felt. That is one point. Second thing is then the COVID. That is obviously um, there is a downward trend in the consumption of certain goods. It has gone up, but consumption in general it has gone down. It affected service sector very much, and during that time also our effort to for collection also has gone down, and post COVID also it has its own impact, and then slowly the business is resuming back to the normal. And so it is right time that we should also put in our best effort to streamline the system. It is only to merely to say that we need to streamline, because once it goes off the track, then obviously everybody has to put in best effort to bring it back, and it is also the bounden duty of everyone here. So there is one more, in one of the speakers mentioned that tax revenue, more revenue, less revenue. There is nothing like that. See, whatever is the potential in the system, we must realize the potential. If the potential is say X, we should reach to the X only, X amount. Not that we should go beyond X. Or at the same time, we shouldn't accept below the X amount. So whatever is the potential available in the business or in the economy of the state, then commensurate to that, the tax collection must happen. So the penchali, takinchali, there is no kind of such kind of concept at all. So there is some, I think, a misconception has been spread in the recent past that state revenue kavali, so doing more, more and more kind of inspections or kind of penalties and all. There is nothing like that. So when there is a potential available, our endeavor is both as a tax collector and also as a tax practitioner, both of us together have to make our best effort to ensure the collection happens, to realize the potential. So that is the only point that I want to share on this. So don't just go by any of the misconceptions that are being felt, and some of the misconceptions I'm sure it is going, is being spread at the cutting edge level. So then for this, the audit and the inspection, these are the two kinds of processes that generally we make intervention to ensure that the system is running correctly or not. And there is a scrutiny also, so some of the written scrutiny, audits, and then inspections. So through these methods, we would like to ensure that the system runs properly. So for this, I seek your support, because when a tax practitioner gives an advice, then things move fast. So many a time when the audit, when the ADT 01 is issued, then or staff won't get records records. So unless the dealer listens only to the tax practitioner. So tax practitioner, okay, one day, then only the starts the it starts moving. So my request to all of you is, so please, we don't have any conflicting interests here, the tax collector and the tax practitioner, because we are guided by the same principle. One, two is whatever is supposed to be paid by the dealer has to be paid, and that has to be guided by the tax practitioner. So where is the question of having any conflict? I feel that there is absolutely no conflict between a tax collector and a tax practitioner. But if a tax collector, if he crosses his limits, and then if he imposes in an excessive manner, if he tries to levy more than what it is supposed to be, then definitely tax practitioner has to step in and then say, no, this is the thing, this is what the rule says. So that we admit that, and then we welcome it. In fact, that is the reason why I'm happy that this audit and inspection process on this, this training is very much necessary. And it is also, this is very much timely also, because we are now ramping up our efforts on audits and inspections. So through these trainings, definitely one is awareness, and then second thing is everybody will be sharing the knowledge, and also we improve our skill set on this, and then that is very much required. And at the same time, similar kind of, so this online, because entire GST implementation is through an online system, I request the the both associations, this AP Tax Practitioners and Consultants Association, and also Tax Bar Association, to conduct trainings on this IT-enabled systems. What kind of a dealer is supposed to do, and then on online filings and whatever. So these are very much required because IT is the key driver for implementation of the GST. We require this. Then another point that I want to share with you is that we are very much committed to the ease of doing business. Like, we don't want the dealer to put to any difficulty, and we don't want the practitioner to face any difficulties. So when we are keen on having this ease of doing business, so we have prescribed, because my predecessor has given an excellent kind of a SOP for conduct of audit, conduct of inspection, and then written scrutiny, or whether cancellation or revocation of registrations and all that, even refunds and all. So we are insisting that the officer must follow the SOP. That is first thing. Second thing is, there used to be some indiscriminate kind of interventions in the form of audits, inspections. So that's a legacy of the past. So we said, no, nothing doing. You cannot, the ASC, like assistant commissioner level or even joint commissioner level also, don't unnecessarily trouble the dealer by repeatedly going for inspections, audits. So any kind of inspections or audits based on proper intelligence and also proper analysis of the data. So we have huge data is available with us. Now we have developed a system. Through that system, we can analyze and zero down on where things are going wrong, where there is an element of doubt is there. Without without having established doubt about a particular business, do not venture to for any kind of intervention or any kind of. That is the point that we are following, and this decision is taken at the chief commissioner level, and along with another two members, two commissioners. That's a state level monitoring committee there. Only at my level, based on the data, based on the kind of information that we have, we decide for this. So, whatever the FSZ way of going for inspection, or just like that, go knock the door and then say, give me record such kind of practices are totally stopped. Then whatever the WhatsApp kind of messaging and then calling the people and all, a sort of harassment or all that is also put to stop. So there is absolutely no such. Every communication, it is with a document identification number, with a DIN number. Without, if any of your dealers, or any of the tax practitioner or his dealers, if they receive a communication without a DIN, that is document identification number, then that can be ignored straight away. Otherwise, you please bring it to my notice, and then we'll take, disciplinary action against the person. Because any kind of communication that's sent, so through audit and inspection, through VO portal anyway, the dealer gets it, and any other further information that is required, like any show cause notice and all that. So without a DIN number, if that is received, then obviously that is not an authentic kind of document, so that can be definitely questioned. Then, as you know, some checks and balances in the system are required, because see, on one hand, we want to be dealer friendly and then the business friendly and all that. That is very much required. But that also has to be, a guarded and also with a proper checks and balances. So otherwise, there is every chance that the system may go wrong. So evasion is wherever there is a levy of tax, there is bound to be some evasion, because society has both the good and evil. Both are there. There are people with good intentions. There may be some people not having so good intentions and all that. We have to accept the fact, and then we can. I don't see the society like a utopian society where there is no problem, everything is fine, every dealer is good, every officer is good. There's nothing like that. There are problems everywhere. So we need to develop a system with the proper checks and balances. So to include these checks and balances, we need to have a system, and then where we need to conduct certain audits or inspections and all this is. If you look at, so one of the speakers, I think Mr. Sunil Kumar, mentioned that other states not much time. It is not so. But I spoke with the commissioner, commercial taxes, Tamil Nadu. He told me that 300 inspections, approximately 300 to 350, are being conducted every month. They're not conducting so many. One. So audits also about 500 plus kind of audits they are taking up every month, and then so that is kind of. So I checked up with Karnataka commissioner also. She also says they have intensified their effort, and then because whatever reasons, the compensation, they are not getting compensation, so obviously they want to see where the pilferage is there, they are supposed to stop the pilferage. Otherwise, if you don't stop it, like evasion is like a cancer. So there are malignant cells, there are good cells. So the malignant cells, if you don't check, so when you don't check the evasion, obviously it spreads to the other dealers who are faithful, who are loyal to the system, and who are rule-minded, who are conscience-driven kind. So even such people also will obviously, when when the bad people are not punished, why should I be on the right side, on the rule-minded side? So obviously, people, the whole society will definitely, if there is no police, if there is no any kind of check on the thieves or criminals, what would happen? There will be chaos, and there will be disorder in the society, and the society will, totally, there will be, there is no place for a person to live kind. So we don't want that kind of society, right? So when we don't want that kind of society, why should we have a business which is having, having a kind of problems? So it's a constant endeavor on the part of the tax collector as well as the tax practitioner to reduce the bad quality or the bad element in the society and enhance the good part. So bad, unless questioned, so obviously, if you don't question it, it starts, taking roots deeper and deeper, and then it gets strengthened. Time when we get lot of information from the, that's what I was told. Subbarav should educate me on this. So in the previous VAT regime, or in the regime, sales tax regime prior to that, so many of the tax practitioners used to give information. So this is the kind of wrong going on with the system. So please check this kind. So we want such kind of inputs from you, and so I'm sure with such kind of inputs, with a good intent, we'll keep that person's name and his the details totally confidential, so that we can check the system, we can put the system on the right track, because we can't let the credibility go down. Credibility of the government, the tax collection system, credibility of the tax practitioner system. So together, all of us, we have to ensure that the credibility is taken care of, because we have a common objective. We are driven by common act and rules, and so with this I would like to stop, and then. But one thing I can assure you is that any kind of genuine problems or the issues that a particular sector or a particular industry, if they have any kind of issues that need to be the issue that needs to be rather decided at the level of